Hello, everybody. Oh, no. No! No, I need to stop this before it does the thing. It's not good. It's not good. My bad. Wrong music. Hello. This should have noticed it's gonna do that. My apologies, boys and girls. I actually made yesterday's video unlisted. Yesterday's market close video because I was fried, or beyond fried actually. It's quite amazing I was even able to do that, and I was completely out of focus, and I really felt like, oh, it's just not gonna do justice to my usual lives, but I decided to then make it public so you guys can see it, because we were saying some things about today I realized I didn't really say in the morning call, so I had to let it be. By the way, before we get started, let's run through our hellos. From Brad to, of course, Mama, my residence legendary moderator. Which, by the way, I need to fix your thingy, Mama. I realized I've done a bit of a mistake there. I didn't do your thing correctly. I'm gonna... I need to make... You're not... I've done your mod thing incorrectly. I need to make it proper. Hold on. Hope I'm doing it right now. Okay, it should be working now. Solo Casey, Alex, as I said, of course, Mama. Of course, please, yes, smash the like button. Don't forget that. That's important. Smash it as if it owes you money. If you're not gonna smash the like button, I'm gonna call Biden and ask him to come to your home and sniff you at night. So it's gonna be very scary waking up to a Biden sniffing you. So Scholar is falling, hopefully. Expanding. Right, Mama, absolutely legend. Let me also add that one thing. Don't forget, boys and girls, there is the Patreon. The Discord Mama just posted. You can join the Discord. Patreon will open to you guys the extra channels, but we're doing it all very early. Let's get into the analysis first. I think that's more interesting. But yeah, hello to everybody. Casey, Leo, all of you guys, RG, hello. Let's get into the stuff. So 1 minute, we usually, we kind of gloss over this one really quickly, but today I want to give it a bit of more attention, because today we had this gap that we opened up between the 6th and the 9th, right? The 6th and the 9th right here. So over the weekend, we had a nice gap right there. That gap is finally closed. Why? Because we had full price action moving through right here. So we can mark this as done. Done and done. All right, we're done. Done with this gap. It's wunderbar schmunderbar. There we go. Right, a bunch of stuff that tells us we're done. Okay, now that we're clear, that had nothing to do with the pattern. It's just that we're done. Okay, the V. It was just a V. So send Trump. At least I can have a conversation with him. Right, the Biden comments. Plus, he's not gonna sniff you. I mean, bro, I would love to have a conversation with Trump or sis, RG. Since I don't know, but I would love to have a conversation with Trump. Are you kidding me? Trump would be so awesome to have around. So just let's go over what we said. We said the price action can very much shoot as high as 55.01. We didn't even end up doing that. We were very much tamed down. That was probably, we're gonna look at the 4-hour. I'm curious how it looks like, how it has been readjusted. Today's gonna be a lot more funnier than yesterday, guys. I'm so sorry about yesterday. I was just done. I'm a human as well. I had a very rough day. YouTube was causing some weird issues, which ended up turning out to be my browser and all sorts of stuff. So had a very long day. The video was very hard to make. The Tom Lee, it took a billion attempts before I got it right. And so, yeah, there is that stuff. Now you guys are all aware to why yesterday I was absolutely drained. Now, more so, I really done a bit of a crazier workout than I usually do. I haven't been able to work out for some time now, so I'm now working out as twice as hard as I used to before, just because I can now. I had to take it down a notch a little bit. Come down, man. Come on, man. Oh, come on, man. Casey, I like that you can understand my weird humor. So once we finish the 1 minute, we know it's gonna switch over back and forth. It's not all that important. What we really want to be attentive to is the 5 minutes. 5 minutes is a bit more problematic. It is actually becoming something that is indicative of enough of a time frame that we can actually look at and say, guys, well, we can extrapolate or predict X amount of movement. Hello, brother. We can extrapolate X amount of movement that will be more than sufficient to actually something that is interesting. No one says you should be trading those unless you're a professional. In fact, we talk about this in the community in depth. The fact that you're aware of something doesn't necessarily mean you need to ride it. Why? Because it's very dangerous. As we said, the very smaller time frames are very sensitive, can get readjusted a million times. So these time frames are mainly interesting for professional traders, basically, or people who, well, again, if it's day traders, scalpers, people of that realm. So this is just for us to get an idea of what we can see. But what we can see here is that we've gone into overbought territory, which on one hand does potentially give us some bullish momentum, because once hitting the overbought territory, spend some time. Of course, it doesn't have to be all that long. It kind of can vary between the length period of how long can it be. Of course, we're looking at the very next resistance to have an idea of what will actually be valid to stop the price action. 54.46.69, same levels that we've tested before. We've seen these levels before, so no surprise. We're aware of them very, very much so. Could be that we'll make it with this momentum to 54.55, but at this point we can almost with high certainty, of course we're going to see on the 4-hour chart that will give us a better idea, but it increases the likelihood of 54.87 no longer being valid as it was before, meaning it's far less likely for us to get that high. Of course, we have to break also 54.69.67 there. So we have a significant array of resistances to breaks. Of course, they're not all that strong, although 54.46 is quite impressive all along if you really are attentive to it, or at least the range between 54 and 54.46 and 54.55. That range is actually not as weak as some people might perceive it. Impressive. We've seen it play part for quite a decent period of time. So right now we're still looking as a support at 54.09, but it is very likely, in my opinion, once we are done running and squeezing out that bullish momentum that we'll have a little bit here, even if we'll make it to 54.46, given the structure, I'm starting to think that it has a high probability to make it all the way to 53.76.98, or also that's a bit of a range. As you can tell, there are a couple of lines there. Really the lines, well, there are 3 lines really you want to be attentive to. There's another line left over from a gap from before, so it's gonna be more of this intraday support or resistance I'm suspicious of. But really this gap between 5376.98 and 5344.95. Remember, there's a gap right here. Here it is. My tab is a little bit off, but there's a gap right there. So I see high probability how the further downwards momentum we will see will basically bring us further down, post retesting all that wonderful stuff to close at least that gap, and we will see why we're gonna have confirmation by the momentum indicators for it. So for now, again, those who watched yesterday's morning or evening live, it doesn't really matter which one you watched. Both of them, I spoke about how far more likely than not that we're going to make these lows go back, close that gap that we've generated right there, this one, from the switch between the 6th and the 9th, the one we mentioned at the beginning of the call here, and then subsequently continue to the bottom one, which I'm highlighting right here. Okay. Now, let's continue to 30 minutes. 30 minutes is actually, although those who often like to perceive this indicator to be super simplistic and simply going up and down perceive this as potentially bullish soon. No, in fact, it's just gone bearish. It is just gone bearish, so there is a convergence convergence process here, the two lines cross, basically converge and then diverge once they do. Whichever is on top, dominant, to put in simple terms, is the one to guide what sort of momentum we're going to have. But you have to remember that that applies to when we are in the body of the tool. When we are in oversold territory, we're just getting amplified. We're just amplifying this movement. And as we said, you can see these sort of processes. We can see these sort of processes. They do take at least several days before we cross, if we cross at all, and it doesn't have to be indicative that this movement is equal to this movement. More so, it's a visual form of a trend, if you will, a wave. Oftentimes, because this is a linear tool, linear indicator, it does not allow you to process and recognize that it's actually a down wave. For example, this way you can see the line was going up and down various times. Overall overarching trend is downwards. Where do we recognize this overarching trend? Of course, on the higher time frames. That's where we get the idea of what actually is going on. The smaller time frames are indicative. They're the same thing as what you can see out of your windshield. On the other hand, the larger time frames are basically what you can see on your GPS tool that allows you to see whether there is traffic jams ahead. Greg, we know what you were really doing. What was I doing, Tom? What was I doing? Anyone will never. Greg. You really know what I was doing last summer. I am certain of that. Else. Is anyone else buffering? Oh, not good. Oh gosh. No, that's not good. You guys still having issues? Let me know if you guys are having issues. I'm gonna try this one thing. Let me know if it got better. Let me know if it got better. I did this one thing. I tried to relieve everything from the network right now, so it will be streaming better. Was it doing it for long? Nannies? Is that, no, was it for long? Ugh. Well, I hope it didn't really impact anything. I hope everything, the vast majority are fine. Okay. I hope it's fine. I hope it's fine. No worries. That happens. At least, I mean, it's good. It's good that you let me know. If it really was on my side, I need to then restart the stream, so it's important. Yeah, safe travels indeed. So once we go to the larger time frame, we realize that the bigger picture, as we said, although we're having a bit of a green momentum here, overall it is more reddish because it's not the full fulfillment of the actual wave. We said the wave is far larger, right? If we want to see it, sort of look at the whole wave, we realize it's a far bigger structure, and what we're seeing on smaller time frames is just a smaller part of the process. It's almost like zooming in on this particular area. That doesn't mean we're gonna just drop straight forward down. No, we have these almost interferences, and they're not always visible because they are engulfed within the price action, and thus do not show on the indicators. Where we do see them are on the smaller time frames. These interferences are exactly these sort of things we see on the smaller time frames, the price action going up and down. You see, again, this is the zoom in of this, if you will, to put in really simple terms. So 1 hour, very indicative. 1 hour pretty much allows us to see the session forward from here on out as we're looking at it. We're looking at it, it looks very bearish. So this session, and I warned about it yesterday, that this session looks very red. All in all, it looks like we are easily going to make our way to that range of the gap, the 53.76, 53.44, right? That range. This is the area that we're expecting to see, and in fact this is so much so indicative of today's session that this might be actually happening today. So today might be the point where we take this actually a notch deeper, or at least test this. It doesn't mean we're going to penetrate and do the whole path, not at all. What could be is that we're going to test this now as floor, turning this into ceiling, right? Which right now, currently, it's our floor. Just to keep it for you to have an easier idea of what I'm trying to explain here. Now it's floor. The indicator, what it is indicating is that the fact of the matter that this floor can easily become ceiling after going even lower. So the finding a new floor, right? Dropping lower, solidifying it, confirming. The market will show that it respects this support. Yes, it doesn't mean necessarily that we're just going to perfectly hit off of it. This is not a bouncy ball. It can actually have slippage, meaning penetrate in. Of course, it will show some evidence of testing that area and then go up. No, it's not going to be that prolonged. I'm just drawing it out so you can see the detail of what I'm trying to say, how it's going to play out on the minutia of things. Now, so that gives us kind of this range between 54.09 to 53.76.98. That is my expectation based upon the indicator, the stochastic RSI. Those who don't know, it's very simple. This indicates or allows us to see what you might as well, the red line, you might as well perceive it as bearish momentum. When it is on top, dominant, right? The one that is on top, guiding the price, the tool to its direction, it is indicative of bearish momentum, movement downwards. Once it penetrates this area that is below the 20 mark, right? There is a scale to the tool on its own right here. It moves between 0 to 100, right? Above 80 is overbought, below 20 is oversold. Once it gets into oversold territory, it gets amplified, meaning the effect itself, the selling effect, actually amplifies. This is where it gets sort of, this is where it accelerates, if you will, right? We can actually see that in every type of trend. It doesn't matter where we look at it. Once it goes into oversold territory, and you can see, or overbought, you can see it sort of tests back up and down, because the wave, the entirety of it was this thing, right? And you can see that once it does that, the effect gets amplified to the point where, although it drops down, the trend continues up. Although it drops down, the trend continues up. Same thing, but vice versa, right? That means when we drop down, the trend might as well correct to the upside a little bit, but still the trend going to be retained to the downside. Just to give you an idea how these tools work, those who are not familiar. Although I do think we're kind of have, pardon me, I do think we have the majority here are the usuals, right? So I'm not going to be surprised. People who don't want to take the time of their day to learn and understand the market, to basically have almost to what be similar to a cheat sheet, and they prefer to tell me and chase me after every time and try to argue with me 1 hour after the video was posted, or one day how wrong I am, and then disappear into nothingness one day afterwards, realizing how right I am. So then, I mean, I doubt we have these people here. So couple of minutes for the chat. Let's see, so I'm not gonna miss anything. Oh gosh, no, what is going on? What are we talking about? Anyone else buffering? Oh, that's that. Okay. Save channels. Anyone subscribe? Hit the okay. Yes, Mama. Thank you very much, guys. Mama is an absolute legendary legend. That's true. Also, comment after the live is done. That Mama, I could absolutely, guys. Any interaction and everything you do with the video, you want my channel to grow. You guys want to have a better community. I want to have a better community. You want to have me have incentive to do this more often, of course. Although I'm probably gonna do this anyways, as you saw, even dead or not, dead or alive or half dead. But yeah, I mean, it's gonna boost and definitely support and help me if I will get the channel going and growing and all that wonderful stuff. Absolutely, beyond the shadow of a doubt. Discord link is in the chat. Confirm the rules or you will be in limbo. Mama, correct. It was buffering again. Oh my god, no! Blurry and buffering? No longer blurry. Oh my god, this is such a big disappointment. I will probably have to figure out what the issue and see how I fix it. That is such a big disappointment. I'm gonna try and do something. I'm gonna try and just maybe reset my browser. Hopefully it's gonna do some good. I think my browser is causing a lot of issues, so that could be it. Let's see if that will work. I hope it will be fine, so I can continue with yeah, I think it's my Firefox is causing issues. Yep. Oh, give me a sec. Give me half a sec, boys and girls. Let me fix it. No, now it's gonna be annoying. Let's see. You'll have to tell me whether it's got better or is it fine now or is it not. Also, it will take a second because I'm currently not seeing the chat at all. Just letting you know, boys and girls. Those who are gonna get bored and leave, it's up to them, of course. It's fine. Completely acceptable. All right, I'm back. I think I see the chat. Judy, hello, good morning. It's all been fine for me. All right. Did anyone see Camel? I didn't, Judy. I didn't. I've seen pieces of it, which I'm not gonna comment on because I've seen what would be the equivocal of a summary. And you guys know how I criticize people who watch summaries and then speak as if they understood and know everything. That is ridiculous. I'm not gonna do that. Let me go over it and I'll have maybe some commentary, but I'll do that in the community, of course. Judy, you need to join the Discord, hang out with us on the open forum where I discuss this in the open. We're here mostly about the technicals, not speculation and overall discussions of politics and such. I can throw a word and a half, but I'm not a big fan of doing that. So let's see what NVIDIA done, by the way. I told you it's going to be testing 110 again. Right, so here we are. Not a big surprise, right? Just kind of those before anyone asks, right? I'm already doing that one. There we go. Already going over NVIDIA. So we said it's going to get tested again, right? The 110. We're pretty much done exactly what I said. We've broke into this territory, tested close enough to what we can consider as $100. And not surprising, it didn't hit perfectly because most people put their stop losses probably just slightly lower than that. They didn't see a reason to take you out. They will take you out on the next run when you will either terminate them or remove them higher right now. So it's kind of a smart shtick that they probably done here. Now we're having 110 being tested again, and we're probably going to test this very, very shortly. All right, yes, that's what I'm saying. Let's continue. Now we actually wanted to look at the 4 hours quite a bit because we were saying this is very bearish, right? My God, very bearish. And now something I've been telling you, and here we go exactly as I predicted. Magic Oompa Loompa Shmoompa Boompa. I told you what we're going to have here is these forces converge on one another, implying basically that the bearish is going to take dominance. Once the bearish forces will take dominance, of course, we converge. We're going to become this, going to drag itself back into oversold territory, the same way I've explained before, amplifying the effect. My God, I can speak English today, apparently. Easily giving us enough momentum to break all the way into the gap and close at 53.44. Let's say whatever, call me a Nostragregus in Gregodamus in a couple of days, whatever it's gonna take over the weekend, and then some. We'll see. Of course, I'm not here to tell you exactly how long this will take. I'm here to tell you the price points far more than I am to tell you to how long these price points will take to achieve. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. My voice is dying, and my everything is just my bodily functions are collapsing underneath themselves today. Or maybe I'm just thirsty, parched. There we go. That's much better. Much better. Now, we are going to be going down. Yeah, I do think we're going to be going down as I've predicted, and this is very indicative of it, and I've been saying this for quite some time. As I've said as well, once this will start the convergence, the daily, of course, will show similar signs. Once that shows similar signs, of course, amplifying and basically putting most of our time frames into bearish territory and with bearish momentum. So guess what bearish momentum means? Means go more down. Go more down confirms what we said about the 53.76, potentially giving us even the movement slightly below towards that 52.63.95. There we go. Don't say I didn't call out these levels later when we're going to say, oh, Greg, you just improvise these levels. No, I have all the levels prepared in advance. So there you can see. But for right now, I'm trying to hyper-focus you guys on the levels that matter. So once this happens, of course, we should expect to see the levels that are below the 53.44, that here they are, these turquoise lines, right? Below them, we will drop to 52.63.95. That will be our next level based upon this and based upon this. All right, this is this. What do I mean? This is the convergence of the forces and bearish momentum taking dominance. Really, what it is, it's not really true. The way this indicator works, it's far better tool of allowing you to see bullish momentum and its moving average of that momentum. And when the bullish momentum breaks, inherently the bearish takes dominance, right? So it's not really bearish bullish as you perceive it. But the tool, in essence, in its simplest form and simplest way to explain it, is that when red is dominant, it's bearish. When green is dominant, it's bullish. Very simple. Bullish, bearish. Very simple. All right. Now that we've covered that, we said 4 hours. Daily, we said will flip over similar to what we said. And here it kind of becomes boring because the monthly, we said, well, the weekly, we haven't covered the weekly, sorry. The weekly, we said, is going to overturn, right? It overturned, and we are already pointed down the same way we said our daily is going to, right? So you see basically the daily is surrounded by bearish momentum, right? So the daily from both ends of it, the 4 hour and the weekly, are indicative of bearish momentum. In fact, the weekly has already overturned. In other words, we are now going to be dropping back to the downside and amplifying the effect, of course, accelerating with a bearish momentum once we go there. As we know, these periods are very prolonged. We spoke about this pretty much every live since we started doing these. And amplifying the effect will mean we're going to go further down, talking about the levels I spoke to you guys, and maybe even lower levels, giving us maybe the 5100 area that we need to test. That is right here, those levels right there. So that is very indicative of that movement, right? So this is this is this. Okay, just to kind of give you an idea. We said, I've warned you. I warned you that this low is going to be lower than the previous low, potentially breaking even lower, giving us far more indication that the trend is now breaking down. Once the market realizes it, it's going to play into it furthermore. Let's clean all that up and go to the monthly, which we know have not done anything and will readjust only 19 days. From here on out, we kind of know what's happening. Everything is rather bearish, but right now, the one more interesting thing we're looking at to change, to draw, to actually draw lower, to have that steepening of the curve, to see it into the body right there below the 80 range. That would be at the end of the month. All right, with all the bearish movement accumulatively we will see on the smaller time frames will come to fruition as we go through these 19 days. They will inevitably print right here on the tool, right? We'll see them here print, meaning they will actually show evidence to what we've done right here. All right, I think we've covered everything. I'm done. Let's go chat. Of course, we need to do Palantir for Tom Nash. I hope Tom is still here. Tom, nothing has changed. Like I said yesterday, our ceiling right now is 3604, 3664. That's kind of a range, so let's call that range our ceiling. Arnold, QQQ is SPX. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. There's no point looking at the at Nasdaq right now if we know exactly what it's doing. It's the same. It's the same with slight deviation, very slight. Do I really have to go like through the same time? You're basically asking me to go through the same time frames again. Just came late. The whole thing was about SPX. You. Before we go there, I'm skipping a lot. I already have to go back. Let's see what's going on. Tim, are you serious about UU? Do you really want me to look at UU? I mean, I don't know if you're just effing or you actually want me to. Yeah. Okay, we got that sorted. Yeah. I see. I see. I had a feeling you're just effing with me, and you didn't really want me to look at you. Don't you know what you followed? I mean, we're doing SPX right now. We've looked at Nvidia, of course, Brad. Brad is always late. We spoke about how Nvidia is hitting 110 as I said it will, post-testing the 100-ish area, of course, as you can see. And those who know there's a reason why I didn't do that. It probably has to do with stop losses being positioned too far for the stretch, and then it probably didn't play out, so or not enough even stop losses for them to take out, at least for that stretch, so they didn't even bother. They will make you think as if they don't care about that 100, but yes, of course, we're going to have another drawdown back to the 100. We know the indicators, for example, 30 minutes, although indicating of some more bullish momentum, sort of dragging itself along the ceiling, maybe testing this again. It still is gonna test that. Why? We know because, as we said, the QQQ are highly correlated and related to the S&P, and so are all the other big players, from Nvidia to Tesla to all of these. They cannot outfight the market. They can prevent the breakdown of being super rapid, right? They can almost give contra some contra momentum, right? And thus it will just not gonna drop as fast. It's going to mitigate the speed of the fall, if you will. It will be countering it. Counter, yes, not contra, counter. I mean, speak English, bro. No, I don't. I'm a moron. Now, let's put that in 1 minute mode so we can just kind of follow up on the market and what's going on and all that beautiful stuff. Let's see. We got that. Let's see questions. We said DKNG. Arnold, really? Do you really wanna? I mean, I believe you really wanna look at DKNG. So I believe you really wanna look at DKNG. DKNG. I believe you want this. All right, let's look at this. I mean, you're going down, buddy. You are going down beyond the question of a down. You look. The thing is, you're not clear enough on what you want, but I think you still have some play between that 36, maybe even drawing down to your SMA that's gonna catch you right there somewhere below, and dragging your way all the way to 37, maybe some slippage on top, but all in all, you're gonna be going down. It is inevitable, so you are gonna be going down. Your daily is ugly, your monthly is ugly, your weekly is lying to you or just kind of misleading, if you will. Yeah, although it is indicative of exactly what we're expecting. We are expecting it to go bearish very, very soon. So there we go. Just turning it red and green so you guys can see it, understand it better, the way you're familiar with it, right? So there you go. So it will become bearish soon, and once it does, it might not even make it all the way to the top. You might be testing median and then breaking. So just to let you, that's DKNG. Not really great for you. No, why? Nvidia can. I mean, at the end of the look, that's that individual pressure. That's the thing that you will see a bit of a discrepancy. For example, if I overlay them, we might see the indices momentum having a little bit more momentum to the downside. But then if we're going to zoom out overall, it's going to look as if they were both stuck in the same range, and when took a dip, they took the dip together. This is kind of how it's going to look like. I see why, Mike. I see why you would not necessarily see the correlation. You need to be familiar with how it works. The translation of from the indices to the assets is in percentage form. Thus, the effect can be at times mitigated. It depends on how severe what we're having on the indices actually is. mitigate the moon. mitigate לא לדלל, להנמיך את, להוריד את רמת ההשפעה, נקרא לזה, אם זה, לא זוכר את המושג. Sorry, Hebrew for a second with our none there. I'm so sorry. Don't hate me on that one. And yeah, short. Pretty. I mean, look. I mean, why 108? I mean, you can just go. You don't have to risk it with 100 because we know the market can be a smart ass, but you get the idea in general, right? One is ripping. Why is that, Brad? Because it's going through. It doesn't mean anything. Again, you're not a child. You need to learn how. At times, even though when you have a certain price action take place, it doesn't mean it's not indicative of anything. Basically, just to put it in really terms that will be simple to you, it means absolutely nothing. It can slip above the 110, of course it will. Don't treat it as the market has to be accurate. If it would be too accurate, if it would have been too accurate, it would have been too easy to read and thus too many issues. Lematan, what do you mean Lematan? Lematan. Lematen, נכון. Oh, I'm a fucking idiot. It's just so hard. Gary, it's so hard to switch between languages, but yeah, Lematen, thank you, exactly, Lematen. Exactly, that's the word I was looking for. Thank you. Yeah, people don't realize the more languages you know, and if you're dyslexic and I guess ADHD, how I am, your brain is kind of can give you the right word on a wrong language and just kind of almost insist and not let you think straight. So Gary, I appreciate the help a lot. Can you speak about SQQQ, please? Michaelis, there's not a lot to speak about that. If you want me to talk, what is that you wanted me to talk about? It's quite simple. I said yesterday, I expect it still to break to 892 area where I'm planning to buy in some more. And that's it. There's not a lot to say about it. If you really want to discuss the asset itself, we do that on the Discord. Maybe now it's a good time to do a bit of a shout out to our Discord. Shout out to Mama for helping me out quite a lot with all this stuff. Here's our Discord. We have 18,000 people, 200 already. Yeah. Every time Tom drops a video, just everything goes absolutely bananas. Of course, when you do join in, don't forget, if you're new, to confirm the rules. It's very important. Otherwise, as Mama keeps on telling you, you'll be stuck in limbo like these people who don't get to see none of the server other than this one rules channel. That's the only thing they are privy to. If you're a paid member, a Patreon or YouTube member, or whatever, please don't be YouTube members, be Patreons. You need to connect, make sure both are linked to the same email address. If you need instructions, just press this title itself. If you click this, just click it. You see how it lights up when I hover on top of it? It will open a YouTube video that explains everything. But if you need instructions, here are the alternative method. But all you need to do is just press this link. It will take you to Patreon. You'll have one simple button to connect your accounts. Once you do, you say nicely bye-bye to the public area, and you will be transported into the members partition. By the way, all of you guys who didn't notice, we welcomed a new channel. It's the trading channel. Those of you who are wondering how we're gonna resolve the trading issue, all of you are free to discuss whatever form of trading or anything trading related in our new trading channels. That, of course, we have one for the public. And of course, we have, shout out to all our legends right here: Arnon, our moderator, Ellen, Brad, of course, Inception, crazy stuff, right? The threads, people, very important to notice. Here, every post must have a full, clear thumbnail. If it will not, it will be removed. Make that mistake several times. Without a clear, full thumbnail, you will be suspended and will have a timeout. It has to be topic related, right? And something important else I forgot, but something. Oh yeah, and discussions are not to be held inside the channels. Discussions to be held, you go here, you hover over the post you want to discuss, you go here to this little thread bundle, right? Create, it even says create a thread, and that's how you create a thread over the particular topic, right? Let's say if I want to create a thread, you see now if I write something, there will be a thread. I can even name it whatever I want, and this way we keep everything organized. So we're not going to spam these threads only, I emphasize, channels. Okay, I hope we're all on the same page. Everything is good. Now, of course, don't forget you have Tom's Academy, which now have open spots. My Academy that has spots in which I basically here. Well, that's not really the Academy itself. The Academy itself is by me teaching you one-on-one how to do proper technical and an in-depth analysis. What I do, and not really everything I show here. All the secret sauce and all of that wonderful stuff, I do that right here on this very channel by sharing screen and all that beautiful stuff like that. So yeah, that's how we do things. And yeah, that's it. I think that's enough of a shout out and oh, beautiful to our community in Discord. Let's go back to the chat because I'm probably missing out on stuff. Lematan. Oh my God, Gary, I see that and I think about the second when I read Lematan because I was like, to Matan? Why are we giving to Matan anything? Who's Matan? And then I realized, oh right, I'm a moron, right? That's just so amusing to, right? At least we're all having fun here. Also, let me switch to live chat so I'm not gonna miss anything. Boys and girls, again, don't forget to smash the like, subscribe, bell, and all that great stuff. Otherwise, YouTube will disown me and will dislike me and all that great blah blah. Can you give look to gold? You know what? That's actually such a good question. Who the hell asked that? Who asked about gold? Next level. Wow. Shout out to Next Level. An awesome question right there. Wait, live market crash, is this live market crash? Yeah, why did I jump over your stuff? I saw you asking something like, what about gold? Next Level, I'm so sorry I skipped over your previous. No, I'm so sorry. I noticed it and I was about to read it out, but then Arnon completely made me forget who I am and where I am and what the hell I'm doing. It's all Arnon's fault, blame Arnon. That's what we do here. So you can blame me, I don't mind. But yeah, let's take a look at gold. Actually, that's shout out to Next Level. That's a Next Level question. Look, when it all started, when the whole run up, you can ask Tim. If Tim Titan is here, Tim, make yourself known. I said gold will be going higher when we were at 2K, which is very rare and abnormal. But under the conditions, it all made full sense. Tim, did I say gold will be going higher? We were talking about the 2400 back then, I think it was. When I said was talking about 2400, we were at 2000 back then, I think, if I remember. I can get to the. All right, yeah. Go ahead, feel free. I mean, Tim knows here. Tim is just a very close friend of mine. Shout out to you, you goddamn legend. And we spoke about this, and I told him that I do foresee gold going higher back then from 2000, I think it was February. All right, there you go. So that was basically somewhere the second, well, 23rd, the second, this year. And you can get an idea of when we spoke about this. I forecasted gold to be going higher, and it did. In fact, exceeded my expectation. But I did tell Tim and myself, of course, we're gonna have to be taking a look at this later as we go. And yeah, boys and girls, we have more to go. I hate to tell you, in recessionary times, it's just as simple as it gets. Gold is a safe haven, known safe haven, and as hard, it's not going to be straight line. It's not going to be lining it to the moon, but it looks like there's a lot more to go. So that's, for example, the 45 minutes, just that within itself starting to show some, oh my god, what am I doing? Brain is completely out of it. Some signs of recovery, right? It's not going to be straightforward, as we know. Again, I'm just drawing it out. It doesn't mean it's going to be this way. When I draw a movement out like this far, it doesn't mean it's going to be this long. I'm just for you guys to see what sort of movement I intend, right? It's kind of very similar to these movements. Oftentimes it's not surprising, or even if it's not going to be visible, doesn't mean it's going to be just beelining it upwards. But what you really want to be attentive, as we said, once you start going over the smaller time frame. So for example, here you go. Your 4 hour right now is rather bearish, right? Even if it's going to flip over, it still probably will turn over at some point, will test lower. Back into the 24 range, it seems, potentially testing what seems to be this high, kinda ish. 1 second, guys, I'm parched. Speaking for hours on end really makes you, I mean, obviously. So we were, here you go. That's the fun stuff. That's your daily chart. Daily chart, of course, is very much indicative of some time out. We can almost see a couple of weeks out just by using this. If you really know how to use this right, you can almost see a month out, to be frank. But yeah, this is upwards, even if not straightforward, as we said, retesting, but very, 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 very bullish. I would say this is very bullish, and on a higher time frame, giving us, I would argue. Let's look at this for a sec. Wait, that would be right, but that's gonna be since the full cycle. Okay, so don't try this at home, kids. Oh my god. I mean, you can try, you're just probably gonna end up with something weird. Slower. Oh yeah, I got it right. Okay, perfect. Okay, so we were saying For example, those who want to know what I did right now, that's a Fibonacci retracement. But if you want to know and understand why I did what I did and how you actually understand how to use these tools correctly, that's what I teach on my one-on-one academy, in which I have only 3 spots, and I already have 2 interested. So be very careful. Once the spots in the members run out, I start to take the spots away from the public. So price is identical. So yeah. That's that. We were saying, I remember, like I said this before, but that's going to be the 3,000 range. In fact, I probably wouldn't be relying on this very number as presented. I would probably be going to be relying on the 3,000 mark itself, just the flat 3,000, right? So my highest shout out or call out to that. What am I? God damn it! I remember when it was a cogwheel. It was so nice. Couldn't they just keep it a cogwheel? My God. But yeah, that's your level. That's your level. That 3,000. But let's talk about why and how. So we're saying your monthly is actually very, very. I mean, look, the problem with your monthly is that you see it's actually bullish. Right, that was not the plan. It turns out I'm an idiot. It's actually very bullish because it's within the realm. It's within the realm. These things take a lot of time. How long they can take years. For example, this run up plus this took 762 days. We've already been doing this 669 days. So we're not that far off, and it's not going to have to be precise, as the previous wave, but just to give you an idea how long these processes can take. I do think this process is going to be prolonged, and it's highly going to be related with the recessionary fears that we're having right now, if true to come as they are. For example, you can look at the S&P today. We came in with a lower CPI, which is to be complete and utter bullshit. Why is it bullshit? Not because the numbers are manipulated, but the weight that is given to every different perimeter is being changed on purpose in such a way that will result with the numbers they want to present to you. At the end of the day, what you need to be attentive to is the fact of the matter that before all of this bullshit started, when you went to the store with $200, you had to put all of that in the trunk. Right now, you can put the 2.5 bags that you get in the, in the front seat, in the passenger seat right next to you. And if you are very attentive, you're going to realize that these 2.5 bags don't contain nearly remotely the same amount of calories per se or actual food the old sized products would get you. So where again, shrinkflation and inflation are very real. They will really want you to think that's not the case, but look, I mean, I'm not here to prove to you otherwise. Just look at your grocery bill and look at how much food you actually get. At the end of the day, that's the discussion here. So the idea is very simple. If we are, it's not going to be straightforward, but if we're going to be looking at gold at face value and going to be looking out on a larger duration, the secret is out, and you're going to realize that really we have a lot more bullish process to go. It cannot be straightforward. There are various processes that are tied in with the price of gold. It also cannot just skyrocket, although now it actually has the justification for it, because now it's no longer just a shiny metal. Ooh, shiny! We put on our neck, ears, and fingers. Now we're actually learning to realize that that gold is the best metal for quantum computers. Thus, it's going to become actually higher in value. It actually makes sense. Right now, the value... Guys, the value we've seen on gold so far, one day we might look back and say, oh my God, I should have been buying up gold as if it was the last asset on the planet. Why? Because only now we're actually getting to the point where we're learning the really valuable applications of gold. Not just, shiny metal, right? Hairless monkeys running around, oh, my metal is shiny. And some idiots put it in their mouths for some reason. And some even smarter idiots put it in their food. So when we already proven it cannot be digested properly, and yeah, complete moronicy and idioticism. Yes. Next level. The safe haven assets often have an inverse correlation with the market. Yes, correct, but it's not straightforward. Yes, next level, very correct. Yes, next level. What I'm trying to tell you that, in my humble opinion, again, this is not financial advice, but the way I perceive gold is that it has, well, again, to put it in simple, depending on how you want to look at it, but for the sort of the average observer, we might as well call it um, almost 20 more percent to go. So, Mike, are you asking? Wait, let's look at it. Wait. Hi, that's something on the stock market. Correct. We answered this. Just woke up. Low misery. Oh, I know this. My car insurance jumped more than 20% for less. Exactly. Mike, look, if you really are realistic about how much everything has been increasing, and you really are attentive, you're going to realize that this number is, it's insulting. It is actually insulting to the intelligence at this point. 3%, 2.5. Come on. 2. Okay. I mean, it can't be. It just can't be. I mean, Arnold and I probably will have to look at things again. We'll have to look at the actual numbers, at the breakdown of the weight and everything, and how it looks this time around. But it's probably utter and complete bullshit. Everyone are more than invited to our. Now, one of the perks you guys get as Patreons, just to be clear, is the ability to join us on Discord, hang out with us, and talk and hear all our opinions and discussions we have, and be preview to all the stuff that we don't talk about on the live calls and all that great stuff. Because we're very emotional about some of that stuff, curse words are being thrown in the air, not PG stuff. So at least I know I get very emotional about that stuff. Um, mm, 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 Wait, not just a statement. What do you mean? Oh, right. You meant related to insurance, right? Really? I mean, Casey, really, is that bad? I mean, I do know. Look, I know. I definitely know. We're already starting to see the first wave of things, which, in my my opinion, Israel is a good microcosm to look at things. Inevitably, we go through very similar processes, but of course, usually amplified, and this time around even more so. And we already got to the point where restaurants that were, 20 years wherever they were, some of them even longer, had to close simply because they cannot deal with inflation. It's redundant for them to even stay open. It's bullshit, Mike. It is complete. No, it's insulting. Like I said, at 2.5, it's just insulting. Pure is just actually insulting. It's what they're trying to do, which shows that there is high manipulation going on. Maybe somehow they're scaring JP to do and say and everything that's going on, and somehow manipulating numbers through various forces that we're not familiar with. But at some point, what they're going to claim is that, look, the Democrats brought inflation down. Really? Have they? Are you really feeling inflation down? I mean, look at all of this. When we got into this, people who were sitting on very decent savings right now, buying everything in credit and are in horrible debt. This is not funny. This is not. This is insult. This is an insult to the intelligence of the average person, and just pretty much anybody. Just, a hamster would be able to see this as bullshit. Mm-mm-mm. What are we doing? Well, guys, I hope it stopped freezing for you. I noticed no one is complaining, so I think it's working fine this time. Stupid hamster. Poor hamster. Okay. uh, let's not get the hamsters involved in this. Those who watch Rick and Morty know what happens when Morty got involved with the squirrels. I hear the hamsters are worse. Buttery smooth. All right, Casey. Thank you very much. It's buttery smooth. Yes. And let's look at this. Nothing really interesting. Actually, 112. Huh? Impressive. Wow. I mean, are we gonna make? No. It's just gonna. Yeah, just gonna. Any moment now, as we say. Any moment now. Palantir. Plug is down today. Although I'm still up. So fun, 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 fun. Tesla. I see. So, I mean, not really anything too weird. We know what we're about to see soon. What is that? 208. We're just slowly dragging our feet before the market corrects. Wow, 716, impressive. Apple. Interesting. All right. Well, so let's see. Oh, look at that. 5466, just like what we thought. We can easily do all 69, really. That's the 69 level. But yeah, we should be about running out of momentum and taking a dive here. I think we are about ready. All right, boys and girls. So if we don't have any questions, we will adjourn today's stream. Today was definitely a lot better than yesterday. Those who have any doubts that I was able to predict today's movement, go ahead and watch yesterday's close. I know I will sound basically dead and fried to absolute oblivion there. I apologize in advance. I had a really difficult day. I tend to not to complain, but I mean, I just have to be real. What about gold miners? Gold miners are actually a bit more of a complex story. They usually do end up benefiting from the whole story, right? But gold miners are a little bit more complex, and really it's a little bit more of a complex story. I prefer not to go to the gold miners themselves. At times it's more problematic. I prefer to go to gold. They don't appreciate the same way. It's my preference, and the stability factors. I prefer to stick with gold. If you're already looking at gold, I prefer to go to actually gold, not gold miners. It's a little bit complex. You see, gold miners are not a safe haven. You understand? The gold is. There is a bit of a trick there. What? VOD? What? No, I didn't delete it. No, Casey, I didn't delete it. I made it unpublished or something like that. Like basically, it's the only people who have the link can see it. So the link from yesterday still worked, but I made it almost like private-ish kind of, and then because people really wanted to see it, I really didn't feel like it does any justice to my normal lives, but because people really needed to see it, I'm gonna probably private it later down the line when it's gonna become really, really redundant and irrelevant. But for right now, I'll let people watch it so they'll know that I actually was able to predict today's price action. I'm not a big fan of crypto. No, not at all a fan of crypto. It's again, next level. Join Discord, hang out with us on the open forum in the members voice chat. This is where I hang out most of the time. I do join the public voice chat quite often early in the morning. Hang out with us, and I can talk to you about crypto and tell you. I'm not look. It's complicated. It is very complicated. You need to understand the origins of some cryptos, to understand how complex it is and why I'm not a fan. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't be. It has pros and cons, and I do think in some far future, crypto probably is going to be the inevitable future, but that's so far out. and there could be hurdles away before we get there. It's not that simple, and doesn't mean I'm telling you load up on BTC. In fact, pretty much, I'm not a big fan. I'm not. First of all, I'm definitely not saying none of that, especially not financial advice, right? But it's a little bit more complex than that. I mean, here you go. I'm not financial advice, right? I'm not a financial advisor. Um, so you do you. Like and subscribe, by the way, before we finish everything here. But join the community. Join the community. I'll be more than happy to share my thoughts about it. And Greg Coin. Yeah, Greg Coin to the moon. Are you kidding me? Greg Coin is gonna blow everything out of the water. Is that Secor? Yes, yes. That is a Star Citizen launcher in my. I used. I mean, I kind of don't play anymore because it's really boring. I have anything and everything from a reclaimer all the way uh, to vultures. Like I actually have two vultures and a whole bunch of stuff. I was handing out money at some point, just like millions. I was doing missions and handing out money. The game became really boring to me, and yeah, um, games are easy for me. I find them to be boring, and I've done it all on my own. By the way, I have a whole bunch or a whole array of ships, a bunch of gear. I'm really bored from that game. Let's have a game. We can have a game later, guys. We can have a game, but it's kind of boring. We're all gonna get tremendously bored rather fast. I just think. No, I'm not gonna do gaming streams. I used to play a lot of the games. I used to play anything and everything from Arma all the way to Call of Duty to Star Citizen, and I used to be quite good. I still have some videos. In fact, what you guys don't realize that this channel itself still houses a lot of videos of from the past. I'm one of the guys who would go on shipment and just come out with 80 knife kills. Okay, I mean it's not that I'm not gonna die in between. Of course, shipment is a meat grinder, but go ahead and try get 80 kills with a knife on shipment. Or nowadays I don't even know what's going on anymore. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see, guys. We'll see. Market is far more important, far more interesting. In fact, my old video, I used to have recordings of myself, like kicking ass on Call of Duty, and you can hear Bloomberg playing in the background, like just kind of, in fact, being the dominant sound. Anywho, now that we've gone far beyond what we should have, boys and girls, see you in the community in the Discord. One last shout out before we go. One last shout out to our amazing community, right? Which we have now 18,000 plus people in the public section. Of course, if you want to enjoy and hang out with us here, right here, it's in the public, in the open forum. That's what it is. Here are the where I do the one-on-one sessions. Of course, you can create your own channels if you want to discuss with somebody something, whatever, not to interfere with people. The various channels from trading to crypto to options to Tesla to Palantir. Of course, we have the stock threads in which you can have discuss all the other stocks. So people ask us why not this, why not that. You can have discussions over all the other assets right here. Of course, make sure to notice the themology we have here. I need to fix this. Make sure you first enter the ticker or just the ticker, and only then the name of the company or whatever that is that you want us to look at. So ticker first, big letters, make sure. Follow the theme of how everybody else conducts themselves in the room. Everything all the way to hilarious memes, of course. Shout out to our legends. Drunk chat, where we discuss pretty much anything and everything, some philosophy, psychology, and that sort of stuff, and all the way to even just sharing awesome music if you want to hear anything, and you're out of anything to watch. Tom's Academy, of course, my academy, which we also discuss various things that opens up to people who go through the one-on-one. That's it, and that's it, boys and girls. It was an awesome stream. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you on the closing, my market close, I believe. I don't see any reason we're not gonna have a stream today. You guys know I'll make one even if I'm half dead. So maybe even if I'm dead, we'll see. That's gonna be a new thing. All right, boys and girls, see you on the next one. Bye for now.